Our next speaker is Rosalind Hanson, again from the Moms for Liberty, and we're delighted she's here and delighted to be partnering with Moms for Liberty, and looking forward to developing that relationship here in Virginia as well. So let's give her a warm welcome.
Well, thank you. Again, my name is Rosalind Hanson, and I live in the People's Republic of Montgomery County, Maryland. So, but my votes might be there, but my heart and actual second home are in Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley. So Virginia does have a very near and dear place for me. Do we have any other Marylanders here? You get it. You guys get it. It's hard. But I think today we're talking about the First and Second Amendment. I have no bearing on the second, other than I'm really happy that my dad just gave me a 22 gauge shotgun for my birthday. But I'll talk more about today what I think is a story of what I'll call original courage, or ordinary courage, and talking about religious liberty and how everyday people can and should fight for it. How many of you in this room are familiar with a case called Mahmoud v. Taylor out of Maryland? Oh, good, it'll be a new story. Awesome. Yes, for most of you. Sorry, Bob. So I am the mother of one son who is now in 8th grade. And in 2022, Montgomery County Public Schools introduced into our English language arts curriculum LGBTQ inclusive texts. So for example, one of the books was Pride Puppy. Pride Puppy was for pre-K students, and it was an alphabet book that started about the journey of a same-sex couple taking their children and their dog to a parade. Think about a typical alphabet book that you've seen, right, that you've read to your own kids. But in the A is for apple, B is for boy, things like that. But instead, we were looking in the picture book for lace, leather, intersex flag, drag queen. This is what our school district thought was appropriate in our English language arts curriculum. Yes, so needless to say, parents were very concerned and started speaking up at the school board. Originally, the district allowed everyone to opt out, and you could say, we don't want our kids to read these books. Well, overnight in March of 2023, they yanked that right away and said, no, you have to learn about this. So thanks to God, a wife of an attorney at a nonprofit law firm, Beckett Fund, they live in Montgomery County. They started seeing all of these parents going to school board meetings, raising questions, raising concerns, and they said, she said to her husband, you need to help those families. This became a nationally covered event, nationally covered case. So Mahmoud v. Taylor started locally, and it was also a diverse coalition of religious families. We had Christians, we had Jews, we had Muslims, all coming together to say, we just want to opt our children out. And you could see the left, they were adamant that we should not be together. They said Moms for Liberty are bigots and racists, and you can't be friends with them. They tried to divide us against the Muslims. Everyone was against us as families, saying we just want the right to opt out. That's it. We're not saying get rid of the books. We're not saying change the curriculum. Just no for our children. So we went to district court, and the district court said no, the school district has every right to do this. So then we appealed to the 4th Circuit. They also said, no, the district has every right to do this. We appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court only hears 2% of cases that are appealed to it. That's how rare it is to make it to the Supreme Court. And they decided they wanted to hear our case. Yes. So in April of 2025, they heard our case, and in June of 2025, they ruled for the parents. And we got our right back. And we like to say that it was not our time at the district level, it was not our time at the appeals level, it was our time at the national level, because this needed to protect every right of every family in this nation to protect their First Amendment right. Now, here I'm going to share more about the story pulling on is the school district was then required to reinstate the opt-out, but all of this was just for a preliminary injunction. The district could have said, hey, we want to keep fighting this beyond just the preliminary reinstating of it. They didn't, thankfully, and just last month they settled. They agreed and acknowledged that they violated our First Amendment rights, our religious liberty, under the Free Exercise Clause. They paid the 3 named plaintiff families $1.5 million, and all said and done, it is about $6 million of taxpayer funding that the district used to just simply not let us exercise our First Amendment right. So this hopefully, though, shows you that everyday courage is possible, but it's hard at your local level. We at Moms for Liberty, we fight for the survival of America by unifying, educating, and empowering parents to defend their parental rights at all levels of government. Raise your hand if you've ever testified at a school board meeting before. If I had gold stars, you'd each get one. And so what I want to empower everyone here today is you have an opportunity and an obligation to advocate in your community where it's going to make the biggest difference. But it's also going to be the hardest because they're your neighbors, they go to the same grocery store, they go to your church, and they may or may not agree. They're your family, they're the people you play golf with or drink beer with. And if you're not able to take and have that conversation at the most local level, that's where our civic engagement has to start. So I want to empower you to be an ordinary, everyday, courageous citizen, just like these parents in Montgomery County, where make no mistake, we were hated, we were berated, we tried to have a chapter meeting once and we had to have police protection just to have it. We're ordinary in the sense that God created us individually unique in the image and likeness of Him, but we're just everyday moms just trying to defend our parental rights at all levels of government. And so I'll close with this, and hopefully, in respect of time, you took a step today by coming here, right, on a Saturday. You could be anywhere else doing anything else, and you chose to come here and learn more about how to protect your rights and your country. So what are you going to do tomorrow? That's it.
Thank you, Rosalind. That was excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you.